Danielle Allard! And just like that, it's over.
Wow.
Yeah, claps and stuff and noises and chaos. Welcome,
It's
Danielle.
glorious.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. I've been having so much fun doing this stuff. Genuflex. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that woo, Reina. And look at his lips. What is his lips doing? I don't even know what his lips are doing there. It's amazing though. Thank you, Nature Boy. I appreciate that woo. Danielle, thank you so much. Again, I really do appreciate you coming on the show and taking the time out of your busy day. Like, it just seems like you're a very just busy person. Did you know I don't know if this happened for you, but when the pandemic struck, did you end up getting busier? I know there was a period of time probably right after where you're just sort of like, what's going on? Oh my God. But then, like, as things develop, did you find yourself getting busier? Hey, what is up? Agnoit? I don't know how to say that. Welcome. Good to see you. Did you find yourself getting busier? I'm just curious.
Oh, yes. I'm a very anxious person. I am somebody who's always worked too many jobs simultaneously. I take on too many projects simultaneously. And I would say that I am busier than I typically would be. And I think I might also feel that way just because of the increased screen time. But I teach full time and then finding my way onto Twitch during this year and trying to learn new instruments and so many new tech skills during this time has definitely left me very, very busy. But I also feel like it's left me more sane than I would have been had I not been busy, because I'm not very good at sitting still on the best of days, let alone when I'm feeling very out of control and like the world is on fire around me. Then it's not very good for me to just sit there with my thoughts.
No, I feel you. And by the way, Danielle, feel free to interact with the chat as much as you want. And also, chat, if you have any questions for Danielle, please do use a fresh bar. It's only one fresh bar. It helps me keep tracks. It helps me keep tracks of the questions. Everything's plurals. It helps me keep track of the questions. So if you use a fresh bar or a channel point to ask questions, that's super duper helpful. And of course, we'll be trying to incorporate you guys into as we talk here. But yeah, there was something interesting that happened right after the pandemic. It was like, especially for my wife, she teaches online. So like, it just seemed like the initial response was like, what's happening? And then it was all of a sudden, especially for me, because like you, I'm super anxious. I don't like to just sit around and think too much about one thing. It's like I have to sort of keep doing stuff, and creativity has been such an amazing outlet for that. Do you find yourself? Have you ever been in that position where you sort of bury yourself in maybe your work to avoid other things, like things that you should be dealing with?
Yes. I think that a lot of us end up doing that too. And it's, I don't know, maybe songwriting helps us deal with our many feelings, but I've always, even since I was a child, been somebody who I just work. That's just what I do. And sometimes it's a very good thing. I mean, I feel like I've done a lot of really cool things in my life that I wouldn't have had the opportunity without working so much. Sometimes it's unhealthy, so life is still that kind of seeking that balance between work and rest. And I think that I'm still struggling to strike that balance, but we do try to do that. And I try to encourage others. There's a lot of things that I do in my life that I say, and I'm like, I hope this helps you. I wish that I could live by the very things that I'm saying right now. But we do have this very fun thing in our community. A few people here are members of our accountability squad. We meet on Fridays, and something that I try to build into our goal setting. We set goals. We encourage each other towards reaching those goals is the rest part, because I've always been so bad at it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I encourage everybody else to rest, maybe I'll do it too.
and to no avail, I assume.
Yeah, it's not going so well. It's not going so well.
When's the last time you have rested? Like where you just like felt like you're like, okay, I'm ready to get back into it. Like when's the last time you took a time to like take a Danielle time?
2019. Summer 2019. That was a good week.
It was a good
Good week.
it was one good solid week of rest. I truly enjoyed. What did you do? What does rest and relaxation look like for Danielle Allard?
Oh, well, I'm very blessed that I have the opportunity to travel. And so I've been able to travel. And in 2019, we went to Portugal. I had one of those mind blowing moments. You know, those moments where sometimes you go and like you'll drive through a city and you've always found one specific way of getting to this place and one specific way of getting to this other place. But then one day you drive from this place to this place and you realize they were next to each other the whole time. And your brain's like, I just had that moment when you said that Reina was your wife. I was like, what? I love Reina. That's amazing.
Oh,
And
well,
so my partner is Portuguese. The family, they are in Portugal. And so in 2019, we went and we visited them.
ooh,
And it's half work, half rest. And so I ended up playing a few shows, which was lovely. But then just taking a solid week to beach and read books. And read books that don't make your brain work. That's
yeah.
like the most ridiculous, most ridiculous. Like obviously, this is going to be the ending of the book. Those kinds of books.
Yeah, yeah, it's like a very just like a nonfiction, just ridiculous, just. I know what you say. I like to read. I call it mind smut, but it's not like sexy
Yes.
stuff. But it's like for me, it's which is I don't. It's which is really weird, but for me, it's like apocalyptic books. Just like like which doesn't sound like something you want to do for rest and relaxation, but it's like zombie apocalypse or disease apocalypse. This sounds terrible, everyone.
I was like, I'm good to never read a disease apocalypse
I
book
know.
after this.
Well, it's been a while. Let me just tell you, it's been a while since I really dived into the end of the world. No, that's what 2019 was. 2019 was me listening and reading books about the end of the world, and then 2020 comes, and it's just like, wait a second, I just read all about this. I know what's gonna happen, and then of course I was at Sam's Club or whatever you have in Canada, where Costco maybe, where it's just me and pushing around a big giant cart with lots of toilet paper and gallons of water and like dried goods. It was a really weird time.
But did your years of reading apocalyptic fiction help you to deal with that Costco run?
It did in a way because like I knew that I was gonna walk into a high tense, a high energy situation where you're gonna walk into a store and everybody's gonna be I thought it was gonna be a lot more vicious. People were pretty cool, but everybody's walking around with that same look on their face, like what is even happening? You know what I mean? It was just. So it's not very rest and relax. So please tell me, what kind of rest and relaxation reading do you like to do? Obviously, mine is not very relaxing at all.
Yeah, no, it's fiction, but it's more on the fantasy side. Like if I can read something that has absolutely nothing, like there are no
Right.
correlations between what this
Yes.
usually fairies, what this fae person is going through versus what I'm going through, then that's great because then it just has like there's no connection. It's not reminding me of anything in my life. Fantasy is really really great to calm down to. And when you open it up for questions, I was gonna make a joke because Dosey Darky is here. I was like, don't let Dosey Darky ask any questions, and he's the first one to ask a question.
I saw it. I saw that. Well, let's get to. But I want to know like specific, like what kind of fantasy? Because I love like Game of Thrones and stuff like that. I don't know, what kind of fantasy are you into?
I enjoyed watching Game of Thrones. I never had the chance to read, and unfortunately, I don't have the chance to read very often. Like I
Right.
was getting through one book at that time. What was that book? I think it was called like A Court of of Thorns or something. It's
Sweet.
not anything you would have ever heard
Mm,
about
right.
probably. And the
Yeah.
year before it was like the first book of Outlander, and I was like, okay, I have no idea why I read this. That was my the person at Chapters says it was a good book. She's like, you're gonna love this, and it's like this 74-year-old woman. I'm like, I'm putting my week of vacation in your hands. Tell me what to read. She's like, Outlander. And then I'm reading Outlander. I'm like, dude, this is so messed up. Why did the old lady at Chapters tell me to read this?
Well, she had it out for you. That's all I can think.
Clearly,
She
that's what
just
happened.
she just had it
That's
out.
what happened.
Okay, let's get the dosey darkies question because I am curious now that you sort of built this up. Can I ask to the host and guest, what is one good thing / something you're thankful for to come from the past year? And please, I would love to hear from our guests first.
Oh my goodness, it's going to be so repetitive for Dosey Darky to have to listen to this question, or to the answer to this question, because I say it all the time on stream. Is that being somebody who's anxious, you feel like if you're forced to take that rest, like it's wasted time. So even me, like I'm trying to convince myself to leave the house to go do things, and that is difficult for me because if I don't have a reason, like I've got to have a reason to leave the house, then I don't want to do it. So for me to have this whole year, I'm used to being in the classroom 5 days a week. I'm used to going and performing at night. I was at tons of events, networking, and then going and seeing friends play. And I was just somebody who's never home. So for me, that would feel like wasted time being home. And then I did start kind of spiraling by the time we'd finish up the semester. I was like, okay, I'm going to be okay for my students. We're going to get through this. Everything is going to be fine. And I'm that person at the front of the Zoom room, because it's not the classroom anymore, that's just being there telling everything it's going to be fine. Whereas I'm not necessarily feeling that way. April comes around, completely spiraling. And then I just had this renewed sense of purpose with discovering Twitch, because at that time I'd started live streaming 2 days into lockdown here,
Mm.
Facebook and Instagram, but then we were having so much difficulty in getting people to come over to see our streams. All of a sudden, you went from having 20 to 30 people watching you, and then Facebook wasn't showing it to anybody anymore. So you have 3 or 4 people watching you. And I just felt really rudderless. I knew that all my shows were being canceled for the summer, which was normally the time that I was dedicating a lot of time to music. And I found Twitch. We decided to schedule in a Twitch stream at the beginning of May. My first stream was May 14th. And then I met all of these amazing people who also were like, hey, we know how buttons work. We know how the internet works. We will show you the way. And it's people like Dosey Darky who are here, and Dunder Miff Infinity, Ocnoid's here, James Cassie's here. And it was not only that they could help me with this stream, but we also just built this really beautiful Discord. And I felt kind of bad because I find in this year it's very difficult to go to places that I have a lot of memories of. Even if I'm going to drive by the college that I spent so much time, like it just brings this sadness. And I've pulled away from a lot of people that, because the restrictions are being pulled and sometimes they're not, and so people are still going out, and I'm high risk, so that's never been an option for me. And even if I wasn't high risk, I've got to be honest, I probably still wouldn't feel comfortable going out and doing anything at all socially.
Yeah,
So
no,
I
it's
really had
weird.
to pull away.
Yeah, it's weird to go out there right now. It's weird.
Yeah, and so I was like, I'd rather not have those memories, and also people just don't want to be online. So everybody that I know here locally, it's like, well, if you want to hang out, we'll go to a coffee shop,
Right.
like, and wear a mask, and have like I I couldn't. I'm such a germaphobe before all of this that was not something that I could do. Like, oh, we'll go to a restaurant, or we'll go to a socially distanced concert, and I'm like, I just can't. I just can't. And so a lot of people just stopped doing anything online just a few weeks into the pandemic. Like as soon as things open up here in the summertime, everyone's like, no, if we meet at a park, or we do this or we do that. No screen time. And for me, I had all of these amazing people who were like, it's okay if you need to be on a screen, because I was always saying no to so many things, and I was feeling uncomfortable saying no to so many things, and feeling like I was letting people down. But with all of these amazing people who are just just they've become such important parts of my life and such incredible friends that I feel like I've spent my whole life looking for. They're like, no, it's cool. We're gonna hang out on Discord, and you're not gonna be lonely, and you don't have to feel uncomfortable, and you don't have to feel like you're letting us down because you don't want to go and I don't know, eat spaghetti with a mask. Like I don't understand. I don't know how you can do that. So I think the best thing to come out of the pandemic was all of you, for sure.
Oh, that's
All
really
of you.
nice.
I don't feel like I've wasted time. I've learned so much. It's crazy, and I've just met a lot of really, really crazy, amazing people. So
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't change the last year, which is crazy. I know that sounds crazy, but I wouldn't know you all without it. So I don't think I'd change it.
Wow. Even okay, I'm not gonna say that because that's stupid. We have another question. Wait, hold on. I'll answer the question as well because I think Stream Fist. We got Stream Fist going hard. Yeah, I know. Uh, that was so funny. That was the funniest thing. Whatever you guys were talking about with like showing up at a empty car park and with a lawn chair for fighting. It's just I love your stream for that because you have that nice. It's a light side of things. You know, some people can be so serious about things, and it's just so weird when musicians take themselves so serious that they can't even laugh or make fun of themselves or. You know, it's just like
Yeah.
it's a very odd thing to me because it's like you put yourself out there, you're so vulnerable. You're always putting yourself in these very vulnerable situations, and yet you can't step outside of that and just laugh and have like you know what I mean. Like you put yourself out there like this. Like how can you not? But it's because we do put ourselves out there that some people take it too seriously. So I don't know. It's okay
Oh,
though.
I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. It's very that's very I think the antithesis of streaming, and I feel like a lot of people that I knew that were streaming originally stopped streaming because you just can't be like that. Like if we're streaming 3 days a week for 4 or 5 hours, like you really see the human
Yeah.
because
Yes.
like you can't have a stage persona and just be like come and be in awe of me. Like that was never my music style. That was never, even if I'm doing a theater show, it was never a case of like look at my artistry. Like it's not a thing.
Yeah.
That's not a thing. I was like I'm gonna mess up so much. Come watch me mess up. And so since the beginning of this, it's like wrong button hype. Like everybody gets very excited when you press the wrong button and when you totally bomb. And I think that's the fun of streaming, is that you just get to be a human,
Yes.
and it's not to be in awe of the person doing that. It's to learn so much. And I
Right.
found that I've learned a lot from watching streams and watching people do their thing. And like what you're doing right now, I still don't even know how to bring in a browser source like that. I don't know how to put the camera. I can't collab. So thanks for making the collab happen today, Mike.
Oh yeah. See, and this, I guess I should have showed you all this stuff because I did see you like looking and be like, you're like, that's not what I was looking at just 2 seconds ago. But yeah, no, look, it takes a long time, right? Like do you know who Leon Brad is? He's a
Yes,
streamer.
yes.
Leon, he's an incredible streamer, and he put out this video. He's been putting out these streamer videos, which I really like, and they're really well done. But he was one thing that really stuck with me in regards to streaming is improve by 1% every stream. And there's so much in that because it's like you want to do these small incremental growths, because if you try to do everything all at once, first of all, when you're building out a community or a channel, it's not like it's all you and it's all your decision, or at least you should be bringing in other people's ideas, because that's how you build community. That's how people. So to just like come at it with like a fully formed idea is kind of a like, you want to have a good idea, but like it's gonna change and you got to be open for that.
Yeah.
But it's like if you overwhelm yourself with too much because of the technical side of this, it's maddening. You pull your hair out, you're crying. Last week I punched a box. And you know what? I was like proud of myself that I punched a box. When my wife is like, you disgust me, and I'm just like, I didn't punch a wall. I didn't punch the wall. Okay, I was actually proud of myself. Yeah.
No, the secret, Mike, is not punching boxes. You just have to shed a single tear
What?
onto the piece of gear, just one. And then the magic of the tears will make the gear work. That's what's happened from my experience.
It's just magic in them tears. There's magic in them tears.
Yeah.
How
But
can I
that's
compete?
really great advice because it's
I
not
agree.
only like when you think about all the elements of streaming, it's like you have to learn how to be a musician. That was already a huge thing.
Yes, yes.
For me, my favorite part of performing was always the audience interaction, but I've seen that make so many of my colleagues very uncomfortable. Like, how dare this person interrupt what I was doing? And I'm like, that's hilarious. Let's riff off of that for a while in between songs.
Yes.
Um, and so for me, that part of streaming was very easy. And when the chat was moving slow, then it was easy to do that. But then
Yeah.
you've got the alerts on top of that. And I think that when I'd first come onto Twitch, I saw like event lists and alerts were happening and like all of these widgets. And I'm like, I can't do any of this. And when we started today, a couple of my friends here in the chat were making jokes about the Ahame, which is just Yamaha written backwards because I was using my cell phone camera to stream originally, so everything was backwards on this stream, and there's kind of this nostalgia over those days. Like it's fun to think about where we started and how it's grown, and I agree. Like it's nice to have a bit of an idea, but the fact that I'm sitting here next to a bowl of dinosaurs was not my idea when I first clicked go live.
Hold on, I'll go. Oh, you can't see him. Hold on. We gotta get you. We're just gonna do it because this is how we do things.
We're just gonna do it. Oh yeah, they can't see the bowl of
No, they
dinosaurs.
can't, but now they can.
There we
Boom.
go. It's important.
Dinosaurs right there. You see them. You love
There you
them.
go.
There's the
So good.
dinos. All right, now we're gonna. And here's a fun little tip for everybody: Alt, and then drag. Alt, then drag. Very, very, very crucial tip.
The way you said that reminded me immediately of Legally Blonde, the bend and snap, Mike.
Bend and snap. That was a surprisingly good movie. And only because I'm coming at it from like I think from a dude perspective because I'm just such a dude sometimes. But sorry everyone, I'm a dude. Girl 2.0, wonderful to see you. There it is. Look at his lips. What are they doing? We don't know, but we appreciate it. Thank you, Nature Boy. We appreciate that. Woo. Thank you, Girl 2.0. Always good to see you. Hello, meet the troll of WSEG TV. Waffles or pretzels from Wild and Sober. Which one is your favorite, Danielle?
It's waffles or pretzels. That's my
Yes.
choice.
Yes, and I believe these pretzels are like the soft, warm kind that you can dip in mustard and stuff. So it's not just the little hard things.
Oh well, in that case, it's obviously pretzels.
Obviously.
Obvious.
What's wrong with waffles? Why so much negativity towards waffles, Danielle?
Well, pretzels you can just eat. Whereas waffles, like if you just eat a plain waffle, like you just grab a waffle, you're just walking around eating a waffle. Like you need to cover a waffle in anything to make it edible. So if I had to choose and it was either just like this plain old stale waffle that's sitting there on the plate or this fresh hot salted pretzel, obviously it's pretzel.
Hey, yeah, it's your opinion. I'm not, I can't trash you for your opinion, okay?
Chris is like, why are you just walking around eating a waffle?
Because sometimes you gotta do things, okay? Sometimes you just
Gotta
gotta,
do what you gotta do.
you gotta go. You
It's
don't,
been a tough day.
right? Busy lives here. Well, thank you, Wild. But somebody,
Right away, I guess it's our problem, Mike, is that anxiety. It's like how do you sit still and eat? That's my question. I don't want you to walk around.
feel you. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But especially before streams, I'm like usually I'm just like I'm like eating and setting things up and getting crumbs on the keyboard. And my wife's yelling at me, "Stop! We share a rig. Stop! Oh God, you're awful. Why did I do this to myself?" Okay, I see your guys' requests for Baby Yoda interview and the melodica solo. We're gonna go down in order, okay? So we're gonna get to the questions and we'll just knock it out as we go. So I appreciate, yeah, Wu-Tang forever. Wild but sober, dude. I'm so sorry that you've never got your Wu-Tang patch. I'm so bummed out. Wild but sober. I can't help it, but your government just doesn't like our mailing system. Okay, questions
So
for
for a melodica solo, Mike, do we both have to play melodica?
I believe that is the rules. We both
Okay.
have to do a. Can we do a melodica off?
Yeah, except mine's supremely out of tune, so I'd prefer to play it at the same time as yours.
I think that's the only way to do it. I think
Yeah,
that's the only way to do it. He
that's
might
good.
get it. It took 3.5 months for Zig to get a letter to Korea. Yeah, you know what? Maybe it will happen. Korea, if Korea can accept our parcel, then so can India. Doggone it. Okay, we will get to the melodica soul. Let me get this question asked. Oh, wild but sober. How dare you? Thank you for that subscription. I appreciate that. Thank you, buddy. I really do appreciate that. Wild but sober, and oh, I see Moving Dutchman. Thank you for gifting Wild but sober and sober. He goes by like 15 names on the internet. By the way, Wild but sober. What did I say about that? You gotta get it all one name, bro. Come on. Come on, get it all one name. All right, let's ask this question by and Agnute said, "Did you know how to say their name correctly?" So, could you say their name correctly?
Oh, I can't say it correctly.
Oh,
He said it's almost correct, but it's Achnoit apparently.
Acknoit, Acknoit,
Yeah.
Acknoit. Thank
So
you.
apparently that's that. And I want all the dinos to take note of how Mike just thanked somebody for that subscription, which was how dare you. And that was the origin of Streamfist as well, Mike. It's just like that feeling that's like you're
Stop.
being too nice. You're being too generous.
That
What are you doing?
it's
I'm going to
uncomfortable
fight you.
sometimes.
And
Yeah,
that's where that came from.
well, it's uncomfortable sometimes. It really is. Like when you guys came in Friday, I'm just sitting there like, I don't deserve all this, and I'm playing and I'm singing. Well, and as you guys know, I'm not much of a singer. I don't have much to say. I only know how to play. But I give it my best. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
The taco song was glorious. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, the taco song is fun, and I played it a lot. But the "Believe in Love After Love" that was something. That was something. Can I ask at Danielle, if you had to choose your favorite instrument to play, what would it be? At We Speak English Good, what instrument would you like to learn? Ooh, we got another double here. Okay, so please, Danielle, if you had to choose what your favorite instrument is to play, which would it be?
I'm not usually lost for words, but I don't know.
Thank you so much, Vile DZ Daddy. Oh, thank you, Daddy.
A pterodactyl scream. That would be good. That would be good. I think what's been so fun about this year is the only instruments that I did play before this year were piano and guitar. And I'd only play piano if the venue had a piano. Otherwise, it was just me and a guitar. So that's how I did every single live show. It was just me and a guitar, usually lots of jokes. And when people were saying nice things about the set, it was always about the interaction because that was my favorite part was the audience. I really loved house concerts where you just be brought into someone's homes. You get to learn a lot about the people
Yeah,
and you
those
get
are
to meet
so
their
cool.
family and their friends and they're celebrating something great.
Yeah,
And I really loved like what we're doing right now. The questions are the best part. So
yeah, I
it's
agree.
it's weird trying to think about what I enjoy now because part of me feeling like I can't believe like you're talking about how uncomfortable it is. Like I can't believe that people are so kind and generous. But I also, and I say this all the time, that I can't believe that people want to spend this amount of time with me. I'm like, how are you not supremely bored of me? And so I feel this constant need to be upgrading the stream.
Hmm.
And then when you run out of tech upgrades, like I've got 3 cameras that are set up going off now, routed them through a stream deck, so it's timed. And now I'm like, okay, well, what else do I do to make people interested? And now it's like, let's just learn a new instrument all the time, which has been very stressful. Well, we've got like 2 pedals here.
Yeah.
We've got the synthesizer that I did not know how to use before this. And like sometimes it was just stuff that I had the chance to mess around with in the studio. So this synth I bought used online. And it's because I just had the opportunity to use it in the studio for one of my first albums. The bongos have been really fun. I won them at a thing, and I never had a reason to learn how to play them. So I'm like, let's watch a quick YouTube tutorial, and like then you stream. You're like, okay, now we play bongos. I don't really know how, but thanks for listening. We got a glockenspiel over here that's really fun, and I like the sound. Like everything just brings something different. So I don't know what my favorite thing is. We've also got a spaceship, which you can't see probably, even if I move. We have an official spaceship now for the stream. Oh, you
Ooh,
can see it.
I
There
can
you
see
go.
a little bit. Oh, that's the. Is that the ding 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 the handpan?
Yeah, it's a handpan.
Oh my god,
So
those things are so
it's been
cool.
fun to try to learn, but that's like we just started that last Sunday.
Oh my gosh, what
That's been
would
crazy. I think right now that is my favorite thing to play, just because it's new, the novelty of it. You get excited.
Well, I think that this is easy for my answer because I would like to learn how to play the handpan because I've been wanting one of those things for so long. Can I just ask like where you got it and like what you had to like? Did you get it local or did you have to order it special or?
Oh, that's just it. This was a huge surprise, and it was very, very strange. I don't know how they got the idea for this. You crazy people who are currently here in the chat as well. It was delivered to my house before stream last Sunday by one of my mods who lives here in Ottawa, and so apparently the whole community got together at the end of 2020 and they all pitched in to purchase the hand pan and send it to me. So that's what happened on
Whoa!
Sunday.
Oh, that's really loud. That
I cried
is.
a lot. I
I
cried.
bet that is so sweet. You guys are so sweet. Yeah, that definitely. Yeah, that definitely deserves a woo. Look at those lips. Look at those lips. What are they doing? What are they doing? I don't know. But they're excited. No, that is so sweet. That is the sweetest thing I've heard today.
Yeah, but I was on a contest list for 3 years. They do this regular draw for a free handpan on this website. So every month I'd enter the draw. I'm like, maybe this is the month I can win a handpan because I will never own a handpan because oh my gosh. So I can't answer any of your questions. Possibly some people here in chat could.
Yeah.
But Dunder Mifflin Infinity has given us some spreadsheet hype because we all collectively love spreadsheets as a community. Spreadsheets make things happen.
They do. They do make
And
things happen.
Franco's claiming he has no idea what I'm talking about. Been there before.
Yeah, been there before for sure. Tam one woof, so sweet. Okay, all right. So we're here at the melodica solo, and this doesn't have to be anything elongated. But do you want to do some dueling melodicas?
Oh yeah, half the keys are stuck together, and it's super out of tune.
Even better.
So get ready for the magic.
Even better.
Oh yeah.
All right, you guys. I think we have the same melodica, by the way. Yep, it's a Horner.
And I think that yours was tuned properly because mine
is tuned.
the lower notes used to work, but now it just keeps getting stickier and stickier. Like the E does not want to play, and oh look, it's not stuck today.
Hey,
There you go.
it's
Maybe I just need to
new.
douse it in WD-40.
Maybe. Is yours old, by the way? Is it like pretty
No.
aged? No, it's newish.
Oh yeah.
I've had mine for like 10 years, and then I had to and I never washed out the tube, and there was like definitely black mold stuff in there, so I didn't know. Maybe there's like stuff growing in there. It's scrolling through a huge spreadsheet at the bottom of the screen. Oh my. Well, hey, you know what? It's true. Spreadsheets do make the world go round. I just wish I knew how to use them better. More better. More better.
It's okay, join us. You can use spreadsheets on the daily with us. We don't call
Finally.
this the melodica anymore, by the way, Mike. This is now called the whale piano.
Okay, everybody. Thank you for Wild but Sober. Thank you for using your channel points for this whale piano solo. So everyone, enjoy. So I'm gonna add a little reverb to mine.
Oh, reverb. How much reverb? All the reverb?
All the way saturated,
Okay.
wet, real wet. All right, here we go. I'm gonna just go off you, Danielle. So go ahead. You start.
What I love about this is the latency. It's going to be wild.
It's gonna be nonsense. All right.
I'm going to play some high notes because they're really bad. Get ready.
Okay. Come on, keep it professional, Daniel. Daniel? Oh my God. There.
I just want you to riff off of this one chord that's 4 notes at the same time.
All right. I'm ready.
It's just the beginning of a horror movie.
It all started on a Twitch stream. Okay, yay! Thank you guys. You guys are too kind. You guys are too kind. You guys are much too kind. Much too kind. All right. Thank you for those claps. Canadian Tuxedo. I forgot. I have a whole song about. Canada. I guess it's not about Canada. It's more about the tuxedo. Oh, mighty. Thank you. Hold on. Let me get this.
I love the Canadian tuxedo alert. It's gorgeous.
Well, I appreciate that. I
feel like it's a real tribute to my heritage.
I agree. I mean, you guys have given us so much. Abby Ruth, thank you for that sub. There it is, Canadian Tuxedo coming through. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let me give you an air horn for that. I would give you a dinosaur, but I did more claps. I really need to come up with different things for each one. It's gonna happen. 1%, everybody. 1%. Dosey Darky, thank you so much for that gifted sub. To James and Miss Artsy Pants, thank you so much for that subscription. And now we have a hype train. Okay. Okay, well, you guys know what that means.
More melodica?
No, I gotta do stuff. Okay, hold on, guys. It's all right. Danielle, please be patient. I appreciate your good attitude towards all this.
I'm ready for the
madness
hype
that's happening right now.
I will not contribute to the hype. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, please don't contribute to the hype, please. Oh, lovely Lace, thank you so much. All right, let me see if I can do this. I got a guitar. I'm playing a guitar, everybody. Oh my gosh, Wooby1, how dare you, all of you? Give me a second. I got a hype train song, everybody. You guys already heard it, but I think you guys can hear it again, right? Are you guys okay with me playing it again? This is my hype train song, everybody. Because I don't know what else to do. All right, here we go. Oh my goodness, you guys are just out of control right now. JT Izzy, thank you so much for that subscription. You guys all get that.
Out in the street, they call it murder.
Okay, it's raining tacos from out of the sky. Okay, well, let's do that again. One more time. Run it. It's raining tacos from out of the sky. Tacos. Okay. Hold on. Okay, just give me one more. Just give me one more chance, everybody. One more chance. Just give me one more shot. It's raining tacos from out of the sky. Tacos. No need to ask why. Open your mouth and close your eyes. It's raining tacos. It's raining tacos. Out in the streets, tacos. All you can eat. Lettuce and shells, cheese and meat. It's raining taco. Yum, yum, yummity yum. It's like a dream. Yum, yum, yummity yum. More sour cream. It's raining taco. Ooh, tacos. Ooh, taco. Ooh, it's raining tacos. It's raining tacos. Out in the streets, tacos. All you can eat. Lettuce and shells, cheese and meat. It's raining tacos. Oh, ohs. Okay. I appreciate the hype train.
That one deserves some jazz hands for sure.
I'm not gonna do Believe in Love After Love because I do want to talk to Danielle, and she is on a bit of a schedule today. So I appreciate so much the hype train. Thank you, Dunder Mifflin, for those biddies. Mighty Mighty, thank you for those biddies. Danielle, thank you for those biddies. How dare you? Dosey Dark, you guys are killing me. Wait, how do you say it? Egnot? Egnot? Achnoit. Thank you for that subscription. Dunder Mifflin, Infinity, 100 biddies. I appreciate that. Mrs. Artsy Pants, thank you so much for that sub. I appreciate that so much. Dorsey Darky again with the 50 biddies. And Wooby1, thank you for the bits. Danielle, you kept it going. Dosey Darky, thank you. Danielle, thank you. More from Danielle and Dosey Darky. James, thank you so much for gifting that sub to Wooby1. I appreciate that. Reina Mystique gifted Lovely Lace. I see. Thank you so much for that gifted sub, Reina Mystique. And Mighty Mighty. Lots of stuff. Okay, we're turning the alerts back on for you guys. I just wanted to get through the song without all of the hypeness going crazy. I really appreciate you guys are amazing. Again, no chaos to see here. Everything's normal. Oh my God. Conios! What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Thank you for that subscription. Welcome back. It's good to see you again. I appreciate it. Dino. Hold on, I got Dino. Okay, it's just a Joker. Oh, Joker coming through. You know what? This is a long time coming. Joker. Joker talking all that smack. I appreciate that, Joker. I really do. Oh, wait, did Joker get gifted? Is that what happened? Hold on. Is that what happened? Because I want to know. Oh, yeah, Mighty Mighty. Okay, and Conios. Okay, thank you, Mighty Mighty, for gifting those subs to Conios and Joker. Danielle, thank you so much. No chaos to see here. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. We're gonna keep moving, everybody. What's all right, now. Okay. You know, this is all. I have to edit all this out of the audio version. I hope you guys know that. You're just making more work for me. Okay. So I want to. Thank you, Mighty Mighty. Appreciate it. Hold on, let me get this in again. Okay. We're going to do this. We're going to make it happen. All right. What's your favorite silly song of the moment? James Cass.
I think that James is asking that because we do have silly songs in the song list. And what happened was we did so on okay, so on Sundays we learn live songs. I've tried to collect some songs from the community. Sometimes we've done themed days. So we've done like a rock live learn session. We've done a silly song session. So I learned some stuff from Flight of the Conchords. And we also had a couple people requesting those bad lip reading songs. So, you know, the Star Wars songs.
Thank you, Mighty.
They had requested some of those. So I was like, okay, well, that could be funny. We'll learn those things. And then they'll be on the song list, and I'm sure they'll be requested occasionally. And what happened was every single stream was just the silly songs. And it got to a point where people were coming onto the stream. It didn't matter if they were coming in the beginning, the middle, of the end. They're like, every time I come here, you're playing these songs. So I had to lock that down. I had to lock it down. It became a point of you have to collect a certain amount of channel points to request a silly song. And so James Cassie wants to know which one's my favorite. James, I would say sorry, but it was fun. No, and it is. And I mean, there's a whole lot of silliness that happens on my stream constantly. And so, of course, it's par for the course to add some of those songs into it. And I would say in terms of the bad lip reading tunes, that I think Bushes of Love is my favorite, just because it's the silliness and the honky tonk. And I think that just as a song musically, it's a gorgeous song. They did such a great job of writing that song, and it's so easy to loop, and it's a lot of fun, but the words are complete and utter nonsense, of course. So
of course. How does that go? Because I can't remember that one. Elite. Thank you so much. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that sub, man. Reina Mystique again. I guess I need to be paying more attention. By the way, Mango Boy. I don't know who Mango Boy. Oh, Mango Boy is part of your guys'
Young
group.
subs here.
I saw that. By the way, everyone go follow Young Sub. Thank you, Danielle,
Hi,
for
Jack.
catching that. I put a little link there for everybody to go check him out. He is amazing. He's been on the show before, and he's just an incredible music streamer and has an incredible... Thank you, Abby Ruth, for... You guys are out of control. Yeah, Young Sub is also... Oh, I see. Mango Boy equals Young Sub. Thank you together. Thank you so much. I didn't realize that. I thought you were talking about Mango, who got me into this whole reverse mohawk thing. But that Mango Boy for Young Sub works as well. Also, Jack has an amazing announcer voice, but you guys knew that. Anyways, the Dino Chaos here has been unleashed. It's true. Oh my gosh. Mighty. Mighty, thank you so much. Now you know how Danielle feels every show. Yeah, absolutely. Sabi, what is up? Did I hear Mango Boy? I guess so. Your ears burning. Can we get a shout out for Sabi? I'll just do it myself. I don't know who I'm talking to right now. Hi, Sabi. It's so good to see you. Welcome back. Sabi's been on the show as well. Everybody go give some love to Sabi. She's an incredible artist as well. Oh,
Carlos.
Like, I don't know what I'm going to do with you folks. I don't know, but I appreciate everything that's going on right now. This is
I'd recommend fighting them in a parking lot on
yeah,
top of a mountain.
it's Stream Fist. It's going down. Stream Fist 2021 is happening. We're going to meet in a car park. We're going to bring a grill. All right? I'll bring my Bluetooth speaker. And
See,
lawn
Mike
chairs.
understands a good parking lot fight.
Right,
It involves
exactly.
food and
plenty
music.
Food, music, the Street Fighting Man by the Rolling
Portable
Stones.
Camping chairs.
And camping chairs. Thank you so much for those gifted subs. Ron Val. I don't know how to say your name. How do you say that, Danielle?
We say one wrongvald, but his name's
One-
Carlos, and he's a lovely human.
Carlos, thank you so much. You're a lovely human. I appreciate that. I will fight you. I know you will. Kitty food. Oh my. Sabi, did you just do that, or is that part of the gifted subs? Better not be over. Dosey. Okay, Dosey. You guys are really throwing me off here. Twitch, great now. Twitch freeze. Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens when chaos ensues. Everywhere you go, Danielle. What happened? we were doing just fine.
I know. I'm sorry. I know. I interrupted your recording last time. This whole time I've interrupted again. I'm very disruptive. I don't know why the chaos follows me. Maybe somebody can enlighten me as to why the chaos follows me. Because I didn't do anything.
Thank you for that follow, spang me daddy. That's so good.
Mike, do you ever say the usernames out loud and then realize what you said after?
Well, just now. That's always fun. Well, I mean, I'm just like, We Speak English Good is legit. Okay, so it's like I have a hard time reading English. I can't speak it that great. It's literally me in a nutshell. So when I'm reading people's name, I'm just like blah blah power, and then they're just like, wow, what is this guy's problem? He's having a stroke.
No, I'll straight up say it out loud just because I'm in a rush and I'm feeling very anxious about getting through some of the alerts. And then I'll realize what their username means afterwards. And I'm like, oh, I just said that.
Thank you so much, Abby Ruth. I appreciate that for that gifted sub to Edja. I appreciate that. What and or where do you teach? And that is from Reina Mystique.
It was what or where do you teach?
Yeah, she wants to know she made sure to tell me this before. She's like, will you please ask her what she teaches and where she teaches and how it all happens? And so this is all for Reina. She's been bugging me about it for a couple of days. I gotta admit, she has been bugging me about it. So I'd love to hear her stop bugging me about this. So please.
Anything for Reina, of course.
Anything.
Well, people usually ask right away, "Do you teach music?" That's what they assume, and I did not. I did not start in teaching music. So my background's in communication, and it was something that I didn't want to. I mean, having experienced financial troubles, I didn't want the life of a musician traditionally. And I was lucky that I went to an arts high school. So I studied vocal performance, and we went through all the different levels of the Royal Conservatory of Music through the high school program. And it was nice because I was surrounded by other people like me. So I got to a point where I could actually have a conversation with other human beings, and it wasn't as terrifying as it once felt. And we had to do business planning towards
Yeah.
the end of high school. So we had to plan out a tour, see how much that would happen. And it was so expensive. I discovered in that business planning that I would likely be living in a cardboard box for a while. And I was like, okay, I should go to school. I'm going to go to university.
Yeah.
And so that was a very scary decision because I was the first in my family to go. So having to navigate that and figure out how to get into university, how to get through classes, how to sign up and register for anything, how to get funding. It was crazy, but I decided to focus on communication, and I loved it. I loved the media production. I loved thinking about communication theory, thinking about the role of the communicator, and the power and responsibility that comes with that. And I think that that really helped shape me into the teacher that I ended up being, which wasn't the plan. And I think a lot of the cool things that happen in your life, that's not necessarily part of your life plan, but being open to some of those opportunities is really important. And I loved school, and I had a couple of teachers that really believed in me. So I ended up sticking around for 6 years. Oh my gosh, 6 whole years. But as I was finishing my bachelor's degree, I just had a teacher that said, I think that you should apply for your master's. I feel like you could do that. And I was like, I am A, not smart enough for that. And B, I don't have any more money. I am dying here, man. And he was like, no, no, no. Like, you'll get a scholarship, and they'll pay you to study. And I was like, what is this? What is this sorcery? So I ended up staying another 2 years because I spoke to my boss about it at the time, and she said, you never want to know what it feels like to actually make money and then go back to school full time. So just stay where you're at. Like, you got $300 in your bank account and you're proud of that. Stay there. Stay there. Keep going to school. And as I was about to graduate from there, I was about to be very unemployed, and I didn't really know what I was doing, but I ended up being invited to participate in a songwriting workshop. And again, like, all these things, like, you look back and it's very interesting to see the trajectory. And a radio station was running a songwriting workshop, and there was a few projects in town that were invited to participate. And what often happens in the music industry, and I'm sorry to say, and I don't mean to make it any kind of statement, but there's very few women in the room. This is just something that I've experienced many times over the years.
Oh my
And
God. I'm so sorry, guys.
it is
Wow.
all good. It is
Wow.
all good. There's one other woman in the room, and so
Yeah.
I make eye contact with her. And on all these opportunities, if you ever have the chance to talk to people, it's always like, how are you at that level? So for me at the time, I was like, my first question for so many people is, are you doing music full time? How are you doing music full time? And
Yeah.
her reaction right away, she was like, oh, absolutely not. I do not do this full time. There's no way. There's no way to do that. She's like, I actually teach it at the college. I was like, oh, that's cool. She's like, yeah, I teach communication. I'm like, I'm about to graduate with a degree in communication, and I have no idea what to do with my life. And she was like, oh, well, we need a teacher. And 2 days later, I was handed a course load, and I started teaching business communication for HVAC technicians.
Thank you for that host, Edja.
Welcome, Etche. I'm seeing Etche here. I'm seeing Matt here as well. Hola.
Yeah, Matt, welcome.
Yeah, so it was just business communication for tradespeople, and then I ended up just meeting a lot of really lovely people and moving into a lot of different places. So then that ended up working with architects and engineers and people working in environmental and energy management and doing a lot of technical writing. I moved into the School of Business for a bit, and I was running kind of small business marketing and portfolio prep. And then I ended up finding my home where I am now at the college. So I teach in media and design, and I'm split between three programs. So primarily in public relations. So it is that communications piece, and it's a lot of social media management. And what I love about that is The focus on speaking training. So I do a lot of speaking training just to give students the confidence to get up and present, do client presentations, go in for job interviews, and feel very confident. And I that's my favorite thing is seeing like the transformation of these humans going from not believing themselves in week one to 15 weeks later. They're not feeling anxiety about getting up and doing these massive presentations, sometimes for real life clients.
Yeah.
And then I also teach in music industry arts now, so sometimes things end up happening. So again, it's the communications focus, so talking about marketing and writing and research and speaking. And now we've turned the presentations course for that program into live streaming. So that's what I'll be teaching in the spring,
That's what I was
with
gonna ask
getting
because
a lot of my music industry art students presenting.
yeah, I was gonna ask you that because obviously things are all different now, and I can't imagine that I couldn't see you going forward and teaching something about like music industry arts and not including live streaming at a point where there's not a whole lot of gigs for people. I played a handful of gigs last year, and I don't know what's going to happen this year. No one knows what's going to happen and stuff. So, how has that changed? How has the course changed and with the pandemic?
Oh, and that's one thing that brought me to Twitch as well, is because I'd started streaming so quickly. When I was looking at this course, it's typically talking about not only presenting, a lot of them want to be producers and engineers, so presenting that work to clients and in an effective way that hopefully leads to less revisions down the line. But a big component of that course as well is the stage performance side. So
Yeah,
getting comfortable presenting. And I mean, some of them aren't wanting to be performers, but having that experience is great anyways. So they'll
right.
be running tutorials or something instead for the class, and I was tasked with delivering that in the fall. So when I came over to Twitch in May, it was really just to press a couple of buttons and see if the interface was similar to Facebook and Instagram,
Mm,
and to test out a couple of the different things on the back end, so that if any of them wanted to start streaming there, then I could give them a few pointers maybe.
yeah.
But I really thought that my stream experience would be the same on Twitch that it was on Facebook and Instagram. I know. And look at Mike laughing at me.
No,
Yeah.
no, 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 because me too.
Yeah.
And towards the beginning of the pandemic, me and my wife were doing like a weekly thing where it was called Quarantine Sundays, and we were on Facebook, and
Mhm.
we'd play, and our audio was crappy and the video was crappy, but we didn't care. It was like we're just
Yeah.
projecting out onto Facebook. You're seeing all your friends do it.
Yeah.
Everyone's paying rent with it for the first like month or so, which was incredibly awesome. But yeah, it definitely it's definitely different. And
Oh yeah. And
yeah,
I felt like that hopelessness of April. Like I
yeah,
didn't know when we'd have live shows again. And Facebook and Instagram are like, it's cool. I get to connect with my family and
right,
friends, and to people who would like to tune in and get to chat with a couple people while you're maybe practicing. But it was nothing that I was really excited about, or that I felt like I was moving forward. And so I knew that they'd be feeling the same thing. So I was like, how am I going to teach this course? Like, in theory, when we go back to performing, when that's going to be, I don't know. But in theory, this is how you're going to perform on stage. And I was like, I wanted to give them some kind of hope and something to work towards now, to feel like this wasn't wasted time, because I feel like my heart just broke in the beginning of that spring term. It was week one, and a bunch of people had shown up on this Zoom chat, and I'd known them in person from January until March, and just seeing the difference in attitude by how hopeful and excited they were in January to the beginning of March. And you've got all these young people just writing and saying like, I feel like I'm missing out on the biggest parts of my life. Or I was starting to talk to the new intake of students who they're supposed to be graduating from high school in June, and like everything's being canceled, and you think about like the best parts of your youth, and they're like, I feel like I'm missing out on my youth. Oh, and I'm getting emotional just thinking about
it's
it.
super
So
sad. Yeah,
a lot of the streaming was to try to figure out how to not have people feeling that way, especially in the music industry arts program, because that's where I was applying that. So we actually ran our first Stream Fest for students back in October. So we got them all streaming on Instagram and Twitch. And I think we had almost almost 40 to 50 students streaming on both of those platforms, and there were some people who were so mad at me week 1 when I'm unrolling. I'm like, this is what the next four months are going to look like. This is the course schedule. These are some of the assignments. And they're like, you're going to make me stream? No, I won't do it. This sounds terrible. And I was like, I know it sounds scary. It's going to be okay. He's like, I don't even know how any of this works. This is so much work. And really, I've experienced that so many times over the years, is sometimes the people who are the most angry and aggressive seeming students, it's because they're really, really nervous and they're really feeling like they can't do it. But then you get them to the point where they're actually streaming, and it's so rewarding to see them all do that thing that none of them thought they could do 7 weeks earlier. And it's a fast turnaround, get you up and streaming in 7 weeks. So that's why it's like you have the option of doing it on Instagram on your cell phone where it's just a button. And then they had like that next level is let's get you on Twitch with broadcasting software, which was, oh gosh, that was stressful, but we did it. So it was a lot of work to take a curriculum from being in person to deliver it fully online during a pandemic when everybody's panicking and freaking out. And the models, I'm sure Reina's going through this too, is they want you to be offering curriculum synchronously, face to face, with asynchronous options, because people, like I had a student that was diagnosed with COVID last week, and then I had a bunch of people who had to cancel. Like you just gotta be way more flexible and malleable. So it's been a lot more stress for me, but I feel like I'm doing the best that I can, and that we're all pretty much doing the best that we can just to get through this all together. And I think there is a little bit more, surprisingly, even though there's a screen in between us, a little more humanity and a little bit more vulnerability, because we all recognize that we're all stuck in this very strange Zoom world. And it would be different if I had them in the room to sense if they were doing okay, to sense what they're not understanding. But soon, Mike.
Soon it will happen. Soon we will be there. Well, it looks like things are going in the right direction with this whole COVID thing. So, it looks like people will be getting back together and hanging out. I just saw all last summer, the hippies here in Ohio. There's kind of an active hippie scene here in Ohio. And they were doing festivals all summer. Festival. Like, there was no, they were like, be social distance, but these are hippies, and they're taking whatever illicit substances, whatever they're finding out there on the streets, and they're drinking and doing all the things, and they did not give a crap. They were like, screw it, we're having fun, we're partying, and no one got sick. And I just feel like the spirit's there, like the spirit of getting back together is there, and I think it's gonna come back soon. But honestly, I'm okay with not having to talk to people face to face all the time anymore.
I think that I might tone it down on the other side of this. Like everyone's like, when everything opens, you're gonna quit Twitch, and I'm like, no. Never.
But
like you are stuck with me in a dinosaur costume until I'm 95 years old.
This is happening. This is happening. But that's the fun part, right? It's like when you're seeing the potential of Twitch, and you, someone who is living that potential right now, and you see, like, compared to what, playing at a bar until 1 or 2 in the morning to a half empty bar of people who don't care, and then you have to lug your equipment home at whatever negative 30,000 degrees, whatever you guys go by, Celsius or whatever. Like you're dragging your equipment around. No, it's like, where's the payoff when you can just say end stream and then go about your day? There's no lugging. There's no sweating. There's no drunk people trying to touch you because, hey, you sing real nice, man. You're gonna touch your face. It's just like, there's a whole other side of live gigging, and that's what I really love. I really love seeing people come over from the real world gigging and just being like, I don't know if I'm going back, but like the ND brothers, who are some streamers, they're 2 brothers who stream here on Twitch. They're doing this hybrid system that's working right now up in somewhere in upstate New York. I think it's Buffalo. and the bars are starting to opening back up, and they have this really cool balance where they're able to stream and they're doing the IRL gigs and they're doing their YouTube and stuff. So they found this really cool little niche where they were able to sort of connect everything. And I think that's where it's going. I think that people are going to go more for this hybrid model than let's just go all in and go on tour and come back with less money than we started, and you look at the reach you can get on the internet doing it like this compared to like going to these little tiny towns where people don't care, or maybe one or two people care, or whatever the situation is, whatever the situation.
Much as it wasn't even the carrying the stuff around and the dealing with inappropriate people at venues way too late at night, because that's that's absolutely a thing all the time. But it's also just the people, like the interaction and the community that you have here is so magical.
Exactly.
And I do have a lot of hope for live music on the other side of this. Like you can see that there's going to be this explosion of people wanting to go to shows for the first time.
Sure.
And already in Ottawa, I mean, it's freezing outside. There's a snowstorm again outside. We just had a snowstorm on Friday. Like, it's really hard to convince people to leave the house and go to shows already in the winter months. So it's usually a write-off here. Like January, February, it's very hard. There's not a lot of gigs that you book. And the summer, that's why I was saying I was so excited for the summer, because that's the prime time. That's when we have all of our festivals, and it's huge, and it's easier because you kind of like compact a year's worth of activities into the summer, but then we missed out on that. So I think that I'd love to do that hybrid model of, especially for the bigger shows. If you got a theater full of like 100 to 500 people, how magical would it be to have a projector screen there? And it's like, you can still have a conversation with me.
Yeah.
Even if there are 500 of you here right now. Exactly. And then you got everybody from around the world who's hanging out with you on Twitch. Yeah. So I'd love to be doing a couple of shows like that on the other side. And I think that it's going to be easier to convince people to leave the house for things that are important. So I am still hopeful. Yeah. In the last few podcasts that I've recorded, the remark from the hosts has just been like, "Wow, you're really positive about all of this." I'm like, "Yeah, it's gonna be fine. It's just gonna take some time."
Yeah, yeah, we're resilient. Humans are resilient, and we'll figure it out.
And this is why I can't go back to live streaming, because Dosey Darky is gonna be in the back of the crowd inappropriately throwing mustard bottles while yelling "Dino." Dino?
Imagine if there was no Twitch and we were all on Second Life instead. Blech. Nah. Yeah, I'm like, right now I'm starting to get that itch where I'm like, oh, I want to get back out there and start playing again. So I'm more of a bit player anyways. I'm a background player, so I'm not really worried about it. But yeah, there is this thing where I do want to get out there. I like that the Endy Brothers had a good idea too, is like, what if you started incorporating some sort of like a chat in live situations. Mm-hmm. So like if there was like a chat and you're in this live situation and people would still communicate with you on this like little monitor or something, I thought that was kind of a fun idea, because I love the idea of chat. And I also love the idea that all these people can't come up to me in real life and start touching me and trying to play my guitar and stuff, which I'm not saying that you people would do that. You seem like very respectable people who would not just come up and start touching faces and stuff. So, but I really enjoy that part, that there's this sort of, I don't have to deal with the other side of it. Although I do like meeting new people and connecting with people, but my hands are sweaty, like right now. I've been doing this podcast for years, and this is every time, not any more comfortable with any of this. I'm just nervous and anxious. My legs bouncing up and down. But that's
You're doing amazing, Mike. You got no reason to be nervous.
I know that. I know what I'm doing. It's just tell my body that.
And I'm not gonna lie. When the nerves disappear for certain things, it's actually kind of sad.
Yeah.
And I experienced that with some of the smaller shows. And we talk about this. I just did, I'm going to go onto a soapbox again, but I just did many hours of public speaking training last week for my students. And it's all of these kind of unknown variables. And the more unknown variables you have, the more nervous you're going to get. So you already know right now, the tech, the space, the questions you're going to ask. And so I found that I started losing the nerves, because I'd be doing this regular show, and that was my first live stream, bringing it online. I do this regular show at a gelato shop here in Ottawa. So it's every 2 weeks. It's the same place. I bring my own tech, so I know the tech. I bring the same crafts. We do the crafts, and then I'm just kind of just playing random songs as background music, and it's nothing overly. So I never get nervous for it, and so you kind of
Mm-hmm.
miss those nerves a little bit when they go. So
Yeah.
the nerves are good.
The nerves are good. You're right. My wife complains about that. She's like, I'm just not into this. Like, it's not exciting me like it used to be. And then she started acting, and then she started acting like in a real theater that was like owned by a real movie star. And then she started working with that said movie star, and then she was like, "Oh, this is what nerves are." Okay, fun. Okay, all right. We have a interview with Baby Yoda. So we will bring in Baby Yoda to do an interview. Quick, it'll be very quick interview. So, Baby Yoda, please do prepare yourself for an interview. Baby Yoda, this is your call. Oh, I think I hear him. Oh my god, that's terrible. Hold on. Here he is. Look, everybody, Baby Yoda's here. Baby Yoda, how you doing today? How you doing, Baby Yoda?
I couldn't be better.
You couldn't be better. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Do you have a question for Danielle, our guest today?
Yes, I do.
Oh, and what is that question?
What is your favorite food?
Ooh, favorite food. Baby Yoda wants to know, what is your favorite food, Danielle?
I am so confused as to what's going on right now, but I'm gonna go with it, Mike.
It's okay. It's Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda, my favorite food. I don't know. I think it's a split. I really miss takeout. Like I desperately miss takeout. Everybody who's here is already making fun of me because I don't eat very much. I forget to do it all the time, and I don't like cooking. I find it again. It's one of those things that takes so much time and it makes me mad. So I like takeout. I really miss takeout pizza. Like there's this local pizza shop and it's owned by an Italian family, and they've got like, you get the pizza slice and it's like that thick, it's just like all cheese. It's like the
Yeah.
worst thing for you, and it's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So, Baby Yoda, Danielle says she misses takeout the most. What food, Baby Yoda? What's your favorite food, Baby Yoda?
I would have to go with Mexican candy. I would have to go with that. Baby Yoda has to go with Mexican candy.
Mexican candy. There it is. Baby Yoda, thank you so much for coming through and doing a quick interview with our guest today. You heard it here first, everybody. Thank you, Baby Yoda. I'll talk to you later. You heard it here first. Baby Yoda loves Mexican candy. So, all right. See you, Baby Yoda. All right. So there's Baby Yoda. All right, we got that done. There we go. Thank you, Moving Dutchman, for the Baby Yoda interview. That was fantastic. Abby Ruth has an AMA. And Abby, if you have your question, you can ask anything. I know this was from 31 minutes ago, so I don't even know if Abby's still here. So feel free to drop your AMA anywhere. Dino. Dino?
Was that your question, Abby Ruth? I
Yoda?
use this channel points just to do Dino.
Dino. That's fine. That works.
What I love, you were talking earlier about communities being this interactive, magical thing. What I love is the lore that is built around your
Yes.
stream, and it's just you press and go live and talking with some hilarious people and playing some tunes, and then it just turns into like this crazy backstory behind everything, and then you've got these kind of shared experiences. So everybody here is saying that because I challenged Matt Walden, AC, who's another music streamer here. I challenged him to a dinosaur dance off because I keep getting sent videos of him whenever he's dancing in his dinosaur costume. And of course, we got a lot of dinosaur things here. I'm wearing my dino earrings today.
Hey.
And sometimes I'll wear my inflatable T-Rex costume in attempts to play music, which is near impossible because you can't see out of it. So I challenged him to that. And then he decided to do this massive raid. So he raided our channel one day and he made the raid call Dino ? So it's just like 400 people spamming the chat with Dino, and they're like, put on the Dino costume, and it wouldn't stop until I put on the dinosaur costume. I was not planning on being a dino that day, but that one experience just leads into inside jokes for years.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. It's literally world building with like it's like a community world building, right? It's just like you're creating this whole, I don't know, you're creating a whole world. Like I equate it to like the Game of Thrones universe or Star Wars universe. Like you get to create your own universe in this thing. And that's what I loved about it, is like, because I've been doing a podcast for about 7 years now, and just last June we started doing it on Twitch, so it was an amazing way to sort of expand on things. It's Danny in the costume. I see.
I just shook some people's worlds by saying it was a costume. I know.
I
It's
see.
not my final form.
I see. Yeah, we're learning new things. You heard it here first, everybody. You heard it here first on WSEG TV. In a time of COVID-19 is causing so many, in a time of COVID, what is it? In a time during COVID-19 is causing so many problems, and in a time where we have to be careful and stay indoors most of the time, and world is going through a recession. However, are you single? How's life? And that's Spang Me Dottie. So are you single and how's life? I think she already. Hey Willow, what's up? Good to see you.
I'm pretty sure that was a question for you, Mike.
Oh, okay. Are you okay? No, I'm not. And life is good. Life is great. I am not single. I'm happily married to my lovely wife, who is also a streamer. Who, by the way, everyone go and follow Reina Mystique, who is my lovely mod, and my lovely wife and partner in crime and everything else. And I see that we're up to 31,000 points on the reverse mohawk. Come on. What the heck? How did we even get there already? All right. Well, I thought that was going to take like months. 32. Okay. All right. Well, I'll stop talking. So yeah, how's life? It's great. It's great. I really like being here. Mango Bright. See, there she is. There's Mango Bright. There's the culprit. This is all your fault, Mango Bright. Blame Mango.
It's gonna happen.
Well, yeah, Mango, this is your fault. I hope you're doing well, but they've all rallied against me and behind your idea, and I hope you're proud of yourself. I really hope you're proud of yourself. But there you go. Spang Me Dottie. Life is good. Life is good. How's life for you, Danielle? Is life good?
Life is great. Life is great.
Thank you for that.
And yes, some members from my community were giving gifts to BFFGR here today, so also not single. But life has been busy. I think that's been the theme of our stream today. Is just talking about all the crazy things that we got going on, Mike.
Just so many things. What's fun is that all my Low Key Uke, what's up? It's good to see you. Everybody go follow Low Key Uke as well, because
Low Key Uke is awesome.
Yeah, Low Key Uke is bomb.com. Lovely, a proper wench. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. She refers to herself as that, okay? she's a wonderful human being. All right.
See, those are one of those things. It's stream lore. It's fine.
Stream lore. It's fine. It's fine to call her proper wench. It's stream lore. No big deal. Teddy Patty has an AMA. Is it going to be Dino again? And then so does Danielle has an AMA. Do you have an AMA or is it going to be Dino?
It was also Dino.
Okay, good. I'm really glad to hear that. Well, I have like these questions, but I feel like these are like very big questions. So we might have to do this again, maybe another time in the future, because I don't know how to get through this without us talking for like the next hour and a half. You teach social media. Maybe we can keep it quick and light, I guess. You teach social media courses and stuff. I was just curious in how you feel about how social media has been affecting, like, how do you integrate, and how do you, when you're teaching something like social media and marketing, how do you teach people to sort of stay away from the toxic side of social media, with the rise of Facebook and the rise of the young women suicide rates, and with the, and especially it's just been exacerbated by the pandemic. With now, that's all we do is scroll and find reasons to be angry. So how do you navigate that when you're teaching your students in your
Yeah, and that's
class?
just it. It could be just a college course, how to social media, but it ends up being a lot of these real talks. I mean,
Right.
I think you get that from me. Like I couldn't just have a conversation like here's how to make the world a terrible place, steps 1 to 5. Can't do that. And
Yeah.
that's another reason why I think I stayed in school.
Oh,
I had a lot of
thank you, Adam.
friends who moved into advertising right away. They moved over to Toronto. They're making lots and lots of money. I was managing communications for a not for profit for a while. And what's important about the program that I teach in is that it's all based around charity. So level 1, they all pick different charities. They work towards applying all of these different skill sets to pitching these different charities to one another. They all vote. One is selected to be funded in level 2. And so level 2, they work through a whole charity campaign. Normally there's like 12 to 15 different events. I know right now they're working on putting together a 24-hour stream that's happening in March. I still need to confirm dates. And they're going to be doing a 100-hour stream in April. I don't know. I've got to talk to them about their plan and what they're going to do. But the whole thing is centered around charity. So whenever we're talking about social media, it's like week 1, we're going to take this pledge that you're going to use these skills for good. And I mean, if you've got all of these evil corporations and people with bad intentions using those same tools, then we may as well use them for good as well. My tips that I give them right away: turn off your push notifications. Stop having those. It's terrible for your mental health. You feel overwhelmed all the time.
Hold on, hold that point because I just did this. I just did this last week, and it's like a whole new me. It's a brand new day. That's actually the theme song from the Valtrex commercial. And if anyone's familiar with Valtrex, it's herpes medication. It's a brand new day. I'm serious though. I'm serious. I don't have herpes. I'm deadly serious though. Like it has changed the way that I communicate. It's so stupid, but it's true. Like I don't.
Yes.
I'm not sitting there like every. It's gross. Like sometimes I'll take my phone and throw it on the other side of the room, like onto a couch because I'm not an idiot. I have a very nice phone. I'm not gonna just smash it, but I toss it or I put it or I place it on the other side of the room because I just can't even bear to look at it ever again.
It's a mental strain you don't need. You're going to open those apps.
Yes.
It's going to happen.
Yes.
Open them when you're mentally ready to open them.
Exactly. So that was your first one. It was the turn off all push notifications. So please, what's the next one? What's the next tip?
The other thing that we do in class is we learn the 5 main social media platforms that you're going to be conducting a lot of PR activities on. But I have them really think critically about the kind of content they surround themselves with all the time. And part of why I started live streaming the way that I did was we were running art nights. So on Sundays we do art, we make art, I play music and learn songs while everybody makes art. We've got an art prompt. It's still here up in my studio. We made t-shirt art yesterday.
Yay.
And so it's just the idea was just make art and then you're going to post that on your social media. So at least it's not just doom scroll, terrible news filling people's news feeds. The more people that participate, the more art that's going to appear in news feeds. But unfortunately, the Facebook algorithm specifically picks up on that kind of contentious interaction in chat. So you will almost always just see all of your friends fighting. That's pretty much all you're going to experience in a Facebook news feed. So it's like, be really careful about the kind of content you're surrounding yourself in. I want you to surround yourself with content that uplifts you, that you find inspiring. And if you're also a content creator, then the content you want to be making, because it's going to subconsciously impact you, whether you're really looking at it and trying to reverse engineer it to recreate it, or if you're just watching it passively, it's still going to be impacting you.
Right.
Stop reading your news feeds. I know it's hard.
Stop.
I know it's really hard.
Not.
Stop it.
I'm not gonna stop.
My favorite tool, if you do need news, is Twitter lists. So that's something too, is I'm not going to go on Twitter and look at my news feed because, oh, wow, what a place.
Hey.
What a place that is. But I do have a Twitch music list. So if I want to see only updates from my Twitch music friends, it's got over 100 and some people there now. It's the second anybody connects with me on Twitter, I'm going to add them to my Twitch music list. And then that's going to filter my news feed according to just those content creators.
Yeah.
for my students, they need to be up on the news because they're quizzed in their other classes on news regularly. So I have them make a news list in class.
Right.
So you're only going to look here if you need news and if you need really quick updates, and that's it. That's the only news feed you should be looking at, is really filtering.
Yeah.
And that's the only platform that really lets you do that. It's really hard to filter your news feeds in other places. But we talk about Instagram, we talk about like self-perception, self-esteem, kind of this competitiveness over numbers. And I've been so happy since they removed the like amount on Instagram because of the impact that it has on young people. Oh, and I've got, like, we could talk for 800 days, Mike, about my thoughts on young people having access to cell phones at the age that they do, and access to social media at the age that they do, unmonitored, unfiltered. Like, we need to do better. We need legislation. We need something that's going to change the way that these people are understanding their worth and their value, as it's not fair what we're doing to kids right now. It's like, well, every other kid has it, so I'm actually doing them a disservice by not handing them a cell phone and giving them Instagram at the age of 8. It's like, no, you're doing them a great service by not having them create that as their understanding of their worth.
I absolutely agree with you, and I agree with you, and to the point of legislation. Here in the States, we had, was it Article 215 or something, that sort of basically gives, it doesn't hold any of these tech companies, any of these big social media companies accountable for anything. So now they can edit, they can censor with impunity, and if anything happens because of their whatever they're doing, they're not accountable at all. I think we do need to make these companies accountable, and this idea that's going around where these are private entities, they can do whatever they want. I think it's different now. I think we can all step back and say, look, a lot of people get their news. This, like, a lot of companies, there's medical agencies that use Facebook to communicate with people. There's the effect and the impact that it's having on young people is everybody's seeing it. And so I think it's grown beyond something where we can just say, these are private entities and we should just let them be. It's like, no, these are not just, these are having real effect on our world here. And we need to be able to rein this into something that's controllable, because it just seems like it's completely out of control. And they're doing,
at least having them take on some kind of publisher role, having some kind of responsibility behind that. But it's also, I mean, it's not to say like children should not have any access, but I think that there's just this very strange, and I'm sure that's going to shift a little bit with new generations, but there's still that older generation there that's still calling all of us digital natives. Like, oh, well, I call my granddaughter because she can fix my computer and she clearly knows how all of this works. It's like, no, like there's no such thing. You aren't born knowing how all of this works and knowing how it really is impacting your mental health and your self-esteem. Like, you're not born to deal with Instagram and the fact, like Dosey Darky is saying, that it's just this curated version of everybody's lives. Like, here's the highlights. So in terms of using social media, I've tried, and even Twitch, it's like I'm just trying to make the internet a little bit of a better place, as opposed to some of the terrible stuff that you were exposed to every day online.
Yeah, the nightmare that it is. Would you have a set age for your children to be allowed to use social media?
I think around like 15, 16, if you're able to sit down, and even if there's courses around this, like we just hand this stuff and we assume that children, like, I mean, when I think about people saying, oh, I'd be 18 forever, I'm like, I would be 25 forever. 25 is when your gray matter is done developing.
Yeah. And
I feel like I was still maturing. I was still like a big understanding of the world happened more so at 25 than it did at 18. But as you're 15, 16, if you're able to actually have those tough conversations, and those tough conversations are really required, but I don't think they're happening often enough. It's just like, oh, your friends have Instagram, I don't know what that is, here's a cell phone, have fun.
Have
it's like,
fun, go for it.
Yeah, and then people are like, oh, well, there's stranger danger, but there's no other dangers. I'm like, there's so much dangers in the form of advertising, in the form of being exposed to certain kinds of bodies and certain kinds of understandings of beauty. Like, it's It's a lot, Mike. And you're right. We could talk about this for at
For
least another
hours.
1,400 years.
I know, but we have other things that we have to accomplish. Like, do you hear that, Danielle?
Oh no.
What is that? Do you hear that?
Do I have to play ocarina now? Because I still don't play it really well, Mike.
Well, that is that. But it's also, it's time for how much does it cost on Craigslist. All right, guys, we're going to get set up. We'll be right back, folks. Hey, all right, we are back with How Much Does It Cost on Craigslist, the only game where you bid on other people's garbage that they're trying to sell all over the country and stuff. Why is this so loud still? Oh, I know why. Danielle, are you still there, by the way?
Oh yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay, good. All right, we're going to play one round, and then we're going to let Danielle go because she has a whole rest of her day to deal with. So let's do one game. Okay, so the name of the game is How Much Does It Cost on Craigslist. It's a very simple game. We're going to present an item. We'll read the description, and then we will bid on how much you think that item costs. We are playing for today's prizes. We have from our sponsor, I should mention, modedstudios.com. Go to modedstudios.com to get all your favorite patches and apparel. You can get Wu-Tang patches that are custom made to your flag, to any design really you want. And imagine it says Wu-Tang for life. Okay, so we got the world, the ghosting the party world champion. We have the We Speak English Good patch, and of course we have the WSEG face mask that you'll get, and it won't be used in Wu-Tang forever, baby. Okay, so first item up for bid, we have an Arne Jacobson pair of egg chairs and one ottoman. 2 Arne Jacobson's egg chairs and 1 matching ottoman. All 3 pieces are upholstered in Divina Melange oatmeal. Whatever that means. They are in pristine condition and barely used. Danielle, how much does this item cost on Craigslist?
$1 million.
Danielle says $1 million. Okay, guys, go ahead and drop your bids in the chat. Whatever you think this costs, you got until the end of this song here. Drop those bids. Drop those bids. I mean, drop those bids. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop those bids. Drop those bids. Drop those bids. Drop those bids. Drop those. All right. Sonic is dead. You guys can keep dropping bids, by the way. Here, why don't I give you guys one more, because drop them. We'll give you one more Sonic dying. There you go. One more, and then we're moving on. Drop those bids. Drop those bids. Drop those bids. Drop those bids.
I love this game.
Yeah, I love it too, actually. Okay, let's look at what we got here. And I'm going to need your guys' help because I'm terrible. And by the way, it's like The Price is Right, but you can go over in price, which means it's whoever is actually closest to the actual price. So I should probably tell you that. And there's no rebids, by the way, everybody. No rebids. Once you put your number down, that's it. I should have said that beforehand. Danielle says $1 million. Is low-key scared all the shenanigans are being counted for the timeouts? Okay, I don't know. I think that's another conversation. All right, Taddy Pandy says $2.5 thousand, and this is USD for my overseas friends. I appreciate you guys picking up on that. $275 for Dosey Darky. I like this game very much. Abby Ruth says $55,000. Dosey Darky. Another $275. I appreciate that. Reina Mystique says $72,500. Wild Sober says $20,000. Danielle changed her bid to $600. We're gonna let it slide, everybody. We're gonna let it slide because I didn't say that at the top of this. So we're gonna be fair and let Danielle change her bid. $600 for Danielle. I forgot how to say that again, so we're gonna just say one Ronvald. $500. Dunder Mifflin Infinity $433. Moving Dutchman $3,000. Edja says $450. Wooby One $3,225. Abby, did you already? Abby, what did I say? We'll let it slide. Abby changes hers. Changes her to $785. Together says $11,120. Teddy Penny, are you changing? Okay, I'm just going through here and messing with me now. My real guess is $785. Okay. Anybody who re-guessed, did double guesses, we're letting it slide, okay? We're letting it slide this one time. But next time you come through here, you better be prepared for that one and done. Okay. So let's find out how much does this item cost on Craigslist. Let me get, hold on. My goodness, what am I doing here? We're going to make it happen. Drum roll, please. Actual retail price on Craigslist. $13,000. All right, so I have no idea who won this. Mermaid Serenade, thank you so much for that lovely host. So we have $13,000, which, by the way, I didn't know furniture even cost that much. I did know that, by the way. Right now I'm seeing Together at $11,120. Is anybody see anything closer to $13,000? How is that? Should have stuck to 55. Yeah.
Should have stayed at $1 million.
You just okay. I think it is Together. Is it Together for the win? I'm going with Together unless someone wants to contest it. And okay, so Together, the lovely mod for Danielle and for others as well. Mom, I won. Finally. Together 6, you have won. Feel free to either jump in the Discord and DM me or just a simple whisper or whatever. Are you proud of me, Mom? Thanks for the woo, Wild Sober. I appreciate that, buddy. Look at those lips go. Please do go ahead and whisper me. And that will be the last, that will be the one and only. And tell me which one you want Together. We have the Ghosting the Party World Champ. We have the We Speak English Good patch or the WSEG face mask. So today, Together, it's your day. Okay, so let's bring our guest back today. So give me 1 second. I'll be right here with you guys. I'm not going anywhere. We're going to bring our guest back so we can have a proper goodbye and wish her well for the rest of her crazy day that lies. Oh my God, what is happening here? Oh yeah, this. All right, there it is. Danielle, Allard, thank you so much for coming on the show. I super duper appreciate it. How can people find you? When's your next stream? What's the next big thing you're doing here that's coming up?
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me, Mike. Do you always play this game?
On Mondays.
Okay, because it's extraordinary. It's like you knew that the only way that I get things is through. Well, we have Craigslist, but nobody uses it because everybody's scared of it. So we have Kijiji,
Oh,
So we use Kijiji all the time to collect things. Sometimes Facebook Marketplace.
oh, thank
But
you,
I'm
Fantastic
one of those
Classics.
garbage people that if you drive by and you see a nice looking pile of garbage, I'm like, what sweet
Yeah,
treasures are in
me
that
too.
garbage?
Me too.
Yeah.
Me
So
too.
so I guess the nice way of saying is I'm a human trash panda, but I also just refer to myself as a garbage person all the time. But I
Uh,
love this game.
we
It's a
have
good game.
we have a thing here in the United States that it's called junk picking, and there's an entire day that stretches from Michigan down to Tennessee on a certain route, I believe, that has nothing but trash picking all up and down. And you can, and now this is when I was a kid, okay? This used to be a big old thing because my dad would stop by the side of the road. We're going through that trash. We're gonna dig through that pile. We're gonna get there. So yeah, I'm the same way. I want to hoard everything. I never want to let anything go. And thank
Well,
God.
Mike, I'm just glad that you cropped my image because if you could see the full thing, I think everybody could tell that I'm a bit of a hoarder as well. Everyone's like, your basement's so busy. It's like there are things everywhere.
Yeah, well, I mean, it looks like a lot of that stuff is useful. So you know,
It is.
when
I did pull some of it out of the garbage though.
well, fair enough. None of this is pulled out of the guy. I was just trying to be like, I pulled it. No, I didn't. Actually, this is I found something I put my
Carl
mom.
is extremely useful, Franco. I agree.
Okay.
You're asking about next streams.
Yes.
So
What's the next big thing you got planned?
everything is crazy right now, so it was a good time. It was a good time for us to chat, Mike, because Friday we're launching my first merch store. So I was always the local musician to literally hand you things out of my Value Village suitcase and be like, here's my CD, here's my t-shirt. So for the first time I'm going to be selling merch online. So we're launching the store on Friday.
Ooh.
After much pushing from the community for the last few months. So we're doing it Friday, and that's going to kick off 7 days of streams, which I've never done before. Typically I stream Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday.
Ooh.
But Friday we do the store launch. Saturday we have Dinosaur Stream Fest. So it's the 4th time that our community comes together. We have 30 streamers teaming up for the entire day Saturday.
Streamfest.
I just kind of post a spreadsheet, Mike. I post a spreadsheet, people sign up. It's the power of the spreadsheet. It leads
Spreadsheet.
So that's happening Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It's gonna be a crazy week. There's gonna be lots of shenanigans, lots of music, and lots of fun times. So everybody is more than welcome to join the dinosaurs, and I'm really, really excited for Saturday. Streamfest is a great day.
I'm excited for Streamfest as well. I'll be there with my cooler and my grill. And I'll bring and I'll bring some sausages. Danielle Allard, thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate you being on here. And who are we gonna raid, everybody? Danielle, feel free to jump off if you gotta go. I know you got things to do. We're just gonna raid. Oh, you know what? I think we're gonna raid Kuya, unless my mod has someone that they want to suggest. But other than that,
thanks so much for having me,
of
Mike. It was
course.
really, really nice to chat with you and to everybody who joined us today. Like, so much love for you. I thank you for yet another day that you're hanging out with me. And it was really nice to meet a lot of your crew today too. Everybody seems so lovely.
Well, yeah, we got some fun characters in here, and hold on, Rita, will you shout out Wild But Sober? Teddy Panda, thank you so much for adding to that stupid thing. That's stupid. Mango Bright! Oh, wait, hold on. Mango Bright! All right. We are out of here, you guys. I love you guys. We'll be back on Friday with The Silence Noise. So tune in, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to raid Kuya. He is soulful and just perfect, and I love him. Look at those lips. What are they doing? I don't know. All right, guys. I love you. I love you guys so much. You guys made this so much fun. Get these raid calls. Please get the raid calls if you can. We have a sad raid call too for anybody who is not subbed, which is this. Is just the sad. Oh no, that's not it. Oh, she must have changed it. She changed things. Oh, thank you, Reina. Yeah, so there's my We Speak raid good. So if you guys want to do all that. All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. March 7th live stream. Okay. Bye. Okay, we are out of here. Thank you so much again. I really do appreciate it, Danielle.
Thank you. It was so much fun. I'm gonna run, but this
Yes,
was so great.
thank
Thank you
you.
for having me.
Of course, of course. You have a wonderful rest of your day.
You too, and please give my love to Reina.
I will.
I love knowing this connection.
All right, you have a good day.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Ah.
Brush.